Do you need the services of a business consultant? Are you looking for a professional you can really trust? Armed with the right tools and proper questions, your search will be quick and easy. We caught up with a local expert on business consulting to give you some incredible information and insider tips to finding the right professional.
Okay.
Let's do the I call them webcasts. But I just started the second season of Things Have Changed. So
Okay.
this is the second episode. So welcome.
Put us on side to side. We don't need to have my profile.
Yeah. If I can do that. Stop share, right?
Yeah, there you go. And I'm in Hollywood. I like the colors. I don't know. There's something about the colors that I really like.
Are you seeing me side to side?
I am.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know what it's recording because I'm a little teeny tiny little box on top of your head.
Oh, are you? Okay, no, I'm going to change my background because I'm covering the Hollywood, but I'm going to put my little palm trees.
All right.
Yeah.
You go with the palm trees, and we'll do action.
Or I could do the non-filter. What do you think? Is it better without a filter so that I'm not it's a weird...
You know what? That's cool. And that's you, right? That's your art.
Yeah, that's my art.
All right. I'm so happy to be interviewing you after what? February 6th. This is the last time we did. Yeah, it was the last time we were on a Zoom together. And you've shortened your hair, and I've lengthened my beard, so we're, and
shortened my hair. I don't really wear much makeup anymore. So I've got nice bags for my eyes. Yes, I look super professional.
All right. I'm proud of you. The way this works is just non-scripted, of course.
Obviously, because you literally just asked me 2 seconds ago if we could do this, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So, yes, it is non-scripted, folks.
Absolutely. But, the show is called Things Have Changed, obviously. And we get into what was it like before COVID, what was it like going through, and what are your plans to grow beyond? So let's start with number one. What was it like? And I know you were in the mortgage industry, and you were very successful with that.
Yes.
So going into 2020, you had an idea that, hey, I want to help companies out with their social branding and stuff like that.
Well, no, people. So not companies.
Okay.
So it's more, it's the personal branding that I wanted to help with. I wanted to, even though I was doing it for a company, I myself was starting a personal brand for me, and I realized that I was being kind of sought out for that as well, from people. People were coming to me, hey, I see that you're getting yourself out there. I see that you're kind of branding yourself. And it wasn't intentional. And so that's when I was like, ooh, maybe that's something that I can kind of focus on full time, as opposed to just focusing on it for just one company. I can help multiple people with their brand. So that's kind of how I ended up starting my own business in January.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we met. Then we met and Okay. You do it better.
Thanks.
But we met and you started getting excited about learning digital marketing, but also your piece of the puzzle, and you started discovering, hey, people are specializing in different pieces to this puzzle, and once you get it all together, then COVID hit.
Yeah, so, it's funny how, someone can, it's good to have this whole idea in your head and have this whole, dream and everything, but at the same time, there's a reality part of it. So when I started my business, I had a ton of people reaching out to me. So of course, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to kill it with my consulting, everybody wants my services, all of that, right? And then COVID hits, and what happens is, first of all, the first thing that everybody cuts is their marketing budgets, even the individuals.
And do you know why?
Because they're not very smart. Just kidding. I think it's the worst. It's the last thing you should cut.
Yes, but do you know why?
Because I don't know why.
Well,
what's your reasoning? Because there's a lot of people that have different reasonings behind it. What's yours?
Well, it's an accounting problem. So the CEO goes to the accountant and go, hey, what can we cut because we're heading into a crisis? And they look at the bean counters are like, well, we can't cut sales because they account for this amount of revenue, but our cost on marketing is this much, so we got to cut marketing because it's a cost. It's not bringing us anything. We're paying for marketing. So they cut marketing, and all of a sudden the phone stopped ringing, and they got a bunch of sales guys sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah,
so the double-edged sword.
Yeah, and that's where it was the double-edged sword too, because here everybody wants to cut that, but that's at where everybody was at. Everybody jumps on social media. Everybody's on their computer. Everyone's on their phone. So it was almost like people do not realize, like, this is the time to take advantage because everybody is paying attention. Like, you don't have to worry about getting eyeballs. Like, they're there. Like, your audience is there, and they're looking for something. So I myself, knowing that, took a little bit of a turn with what I was doing on social media. So I knew, and I'm an empath. So I'm one of those people that I was very sensitive to the environment and what was happening. So I was like, I am in no way selling my business and my services. Like, I'm in no way going to talk about what I do. Like, that's just not me. Like, I saw other people doing that, and it just felt wrong. I was just like, come on, folks. You're still spamming people with pitches. You're still doing this when people literally are trying to figure out if they're going to be able to survive and pay their bills. And so I took a shift. And knowing that people's eyeballs are on there and people are seeing a lot of negativity, a lot of bad news, I was like, I'm going to just put myself out there in a way where I'm helping people, giving them tips on what to do, especially with LinkedIn, since I've managed to kind of, figure that platform out. At least I thought I did. But I think everyone's now like, we don't understand LinkedIn. And so I just thought about, I want to make people smile. I want to bring positivity. I just want to be that person because I love seeing that when, like, I loved when, what is it? Is it Jason or John Krasinski? Is it John Krasinski from The Office?
Yes.
And Jake Ryan, yeah. So then John Krasinski creates some good news.
Right.
And like it went viral because people wanted to see that. So it's the same thing. Like, I want to see that. So then I'm going to do that. That's going to be my social media. So then I just started putting out content in that way, and then people just really liked it because they felt like it was refreshing. So that in turn had people wanting to talk to me, so then I started getting asked to be on podcasts. And we all know how people are in perception is, right? When they think that you're kind of like the it girl and everybody's like, you're in high demand, it's like everybody wants you. And it's like, it was funny because I was laughing because I was like, I'm a nobody.
I'm so not that, right?
I'm so not that, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm like, I also understood if that's what people need to hear and if that's people are craving right now, then I'm going to give it to them because I need that too. So if anything, that was the silver lining of all of this, is it really put me at a different level. Like, I already had a visibility, but it brought me visibility all around the world. I was on podcasts in Australia, India, Argentina, Canada. Like, it was just so cool. And then it just allowed me to meet some amazing people, because that's another thing too, is that I think it helped people network even more, because people would only network if they were invited to an event. And then not only that, you're invited to an event, you're like, oh, I got to get in the car, I got to get dressed up, and then I got to go to the but knowing that you could literally just get on a phone call on a Zoom and you can be in your PJs like I am right now with your cup of coffee and just have conversations, you're getting right to the point. You're not worrying about like the business card or what do you do? It's like, it's very intentional when people are like, hey, can we get on a Zoom? And so I'd get on a Zoom and it would be like a whole different level of networking.
What, you didn't get dressed up for me?
No, I'm so sorry. Look, there's another, I'm going to tell him that I'm going to tell this boy. Can I call you right back? I'm doing a little podcasty thing. Hi, you look handsome. Okay. Okay, bye. So that's another Brian Schulman. So before this, folks, Michael Ray, who's big on LinkedIn, just FaceTime me. Brian Schulman just FaceTime me on LinkedIn. He does hashtag Voice Your Vibe and does LinkedIn Lives with radiates positive vibes. And it's all about people getting on, dancing, and just talking about something good.
Look him up. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So anyways, like those are the type of people that I've managed to build really good relationships, and it's all because of COVID. I truly believe too. It's because we've been forced to, like, we all want connection. So there's so many things that have come out of it. So that's kind of like the process of within the pandemic. Now, after the pandemic, like, well, I mean, the thick of it. I mean, we're still in the thick of it, but you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, the thing that's different about 100 years ago is that 100 years ago there was 3 waves, and hopefully, please God, we don't go into a 3rd wave, because there's light at the end of the tunnel. I've been hearing good things about a drug that's coming out. I hate getting shots, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'll give it one for this, so I don't go out in my mask and gloves every day and prompt cheese.
Yeah.
And good photo yesterday of the mask.
Oh. Did you see that? I gave you a little bit of a shout out.
Yeah, little plug. Yeah.
But the mask was great, so thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so let's say today is the day. It's day 1 of the rest of our lives, and
Okay.
COVID is gone. What are your plans to take this and what you've learned in the relationships and partner up or grow from here? What are you planning?
Well, it's interesting because just in the last week or so, I've had all these epiphanies and like light bulb moments. I've really had a spiritual awakening. Like I really believe I'm going through one right now. And so I am going in a totally different direction because I realize what I'm really good at. And a lot of it's because of all these podcasts that I've been on.
Right.
I love to talk, and you know that. You know I could talk all day long to everybody and anybody. Yeah, everybody who's like, you love to talk what? I mean, okay, I'm like, okay, smart-ass people, I get it. Like, you all know that I love to talk. But that's the thing is, like, if I love to talk, I love people, I loved being a guest on a podcast, I love just meeting new people and having conversations. So I thought, I have to figure out a way of doing what I really, really love, and at some point monetizing it, but also my whole point of just being in existence for me is to make an impact, a positive impact. I really have always wanted to be that person. And, you know, with my business and everything, once again, it hasn't gone the way that I thought it would. And that's okay. Like, I don't feel like a failure. I just know that when it comes to business, I don't fit the mold so much. I'm not that aggressive and I'm not salesy. It's just not in me. And if you don't have that in you and you're not passionate about it, it's not going to work. And so the epiphany that I had was, I'm going to have conversations. Now, I'm not going to do a podcast. I'm going to do a YouTube channel. And then at some point you'll be able to, you can help me out with a couple things. But I want to do a YouTube channel, and I'm going to have conversations. Once again, it's not going to be interviewing. I don't want to name it that or anything. Conversations with our youth. And it's going to be called Rock the Boat, R-A-Q, the boat. So there's, obviously I get called Rock or Rocky, and a lot of people spell it R-A-Q.
That's great.
And then I like that I kind of feel like I'm in a place in my life where I'm rocking the boat a little bit.
Pretty interesting, isn't it? Now you have all the information you need to find the right professional and make an informed choice. Would you like to learn more by connecting with today's expert? Just call the number on your screen. Thanks for watching.